what's going on?
Hey Ross, I was wondering if you had a couple of minutes to talk about Accord's stance on AI.
Wait, what's AI? Yeah, for sure. What's up?
Okay, so everyone's talking about AI in sales right now. What's your honest read on where we're at?
Yeah, I think we're at a super exciting inflection point. Honestly, probably not quite where we're at with engineering and automating code writing and producting, but some really great early indicators of some exciting impact.
So are teams in the field actually benefiting from this?
Yeah, it's a great question. Again, I don't think it's that 10, 100x that you're hearing from other orgs, but when it comes to a ton of the admin stuff, list building, researching, stakeholder identification, all that kind of stuff, super exciting. But when it comes to the real impact of a buyer and seller engaging, I don't think we're quite nailing that yet.
But you're still excited about it?
Yeah, I think some really great things to come. You want to chat more about it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's hit it.
Okay, let's take a step back. You talk with a lot of revenue leaders, right?
Occasionally, yeah.
Beyond just, hey, we need an AI strategy, what are some of the biggest challenges you hear?
It's a great question. Honestly, I think, and not to undersell Accord and what we're working on, is people are starting with technology now and getting really excited about the solutions and don't necessarily think about what really matters, which is the people and culture first, then the process, then the tech to reinforce it. And I'm seeing way too much effort on starting with the technology and the solution instead of, what's our value selling methodology, what's our ideal customer journey, and how do we accelerate that and identify that instead of just starting with the outcomes.
So is the industry trying to solve the right things with AI then? Sounds more like a process problem.
Yeah, I think in general, but again, I think what I'm seeing is a group of top performers going out and building some amazing stuff and it just making the best better. I don't think that's where your biggest leverage is. Or RevOps team or go-to-market engine team building just a ton of stuff and really overwhelming the average seller. And I think you really need to start is what cultural change are we trying to drive? How do we kind of start from what's really going to drive that impact instead of from the solution first?
Where are you then? How has Accord's thinking changed with AI?
I don't think the core philosophy has changed dramatically. It's always been about adoption of the right best practices and process and methodology. And before it was really, how do we get the entire team to adopt our value selling methodology and customer journey? Now it's kind of the same, but with agents and AI. How do we make sure the entire team's getting the most value from that versus just the top 10 or 20%?
Okay, so what rule does AI have to play by for it to actually be valuable?
Again, I think it's the core principle we had before, which is built into the workflow. This can't be something separate. This needs to be right in front of them, not a command line, hey, let's ask the AI the right question. If they knew the right question to ask in the first place, they'd probably already be asking it. So that's kind of our thought. How do we make sure it's really easy for the entire field to get the value of the tool?
So how is Accord making AI more valuable? Walk me through what you're building.
Yeah, as is anything really impactful with AI, you need the context. So we've spent a lot of time the last few months making sure we develop our partnerships with conversational intelligence companies like Gong, Zoom, and others to make sure we have that real-time conversation in there, deepening our partnerships with Salesforce, HubSpot, and others to get that enriched CRM information there, and even partnering with platforms that have that data lake to make sure that if you're putting in your product usage data or anything else, we can grab that and power the outputs that are in Accord to follow your sales methodology. Whether you use Force or Challenger or Vista Value Selling, whatever it is, we have all that context to power the outputs, so it's not generic as you'd get from just a command line prompt on ChatGPT or Anthropic.
And so it sounds like that must enable you to get a lot more face time with your customers, right?
That's the idea, is how do we make reps more productive by doing the busy work and kind of the homework so they can focus on doing what salespeople do best, which is building those deep partnerships and consultative relationships with their customers.
Ross, you're passionate about sales. What does that face time actually enable for you as a seller?
Trust, which I think is honestly one of the most important things as we think about everyone struggling to figure out what to do in this new agentic AI era. You need to really follow that expert, consultative, trustworthy seller and brand. And I think it really lets you develop a point of view that really matters in this era of selling.
Sounds awesome. When can I start using it?
Whenever, yeah, you can reach out and get signed up right away.
Awesome. Thanks, Ross.
Of course. Cheers.